んにちは皆さん。私たちの環境法律力へようこそ。さて、私たちの冒険を見てください。お願いします。
Lectured us on market-based climate change in Japan. Sven illustrated to us the conflicted nature of carbon pricing and the positives and negatives of the cap and trade approach. It was a thoroughly enjoyable lecture.
This afternoon we had a really interesting lecture by Associate Professor Stefan Gruber about cultural protection and heritage and how the law is best to protect stuff. Stefan made a number of interesting points about how we first classify what is cultural heritage and then more importantly how the law should best protect it.
We also had the pleasure to learn from Professor Yuko Nishitani about the Japanese legal system throughout history, Japanese nationality and immigration policy. Professor Toru Moritomi gave us an engaging lecture on renewable policy in Japan following the 2011 Fukushima nuclear plant incident.
Martial arts. As you can hear, it's super loud, there's lots of screaming and lots of hitting each other with sticks. But it was really, really humbling to be able to learn the art of kendo.
During our time in Kyoto, we were hosted by some Japanese women who introduced us to some Japanese cultural activities, and they included ikebana, traditional kimono dressing,
as well as origami, calligraphy and a beautiful tea ceremony.
Today we learned about ikebana, which is the art of the flowers. We learnt about the three main flowers: the shin, which means heaven, the so, which means man, and the hikai, which means earth.
And in German it's Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye bye. Bye bye was international.
Today we're at the beautiful Miyajima Island.
And behind us is the Otori Gate, part of the Itsukushima Shrine, which is a World Heritage Site.
Very humbled to visit the Hiroshima Peace Memorial. The dome expresses hope for world peace and the ultimate elimination of all nuclear weapons.
Today we're at University, where we're sharing presentations on environmental law with Japanese students from Professor Satoshi Karakara's class.
The first presentation was on the EPBC Act and its outdated nature. We then looked at standing laws in Australia, followed by a presentation on the Udani Carmichael coal mine. Next, we looked at Australia's climate policy and its history.
But it was unquestionably an important first step in climate diplomacy.
And we wrapped up with a great presentation on the topic of whether rivers have right, focusing on a global perspective.
3 Japanese students presented to us on solar energy in Japan, renewable energy in Japan, and the Kyoto Protocol. They were engaging presentations made even more impressive because they did them all in English, and we finished with a joke 100-metre race.
We had lectures at climate law and renewable law in Japan. Fukushima accident caused all the nuclear reactors to stop operating in 2010. Climate policy frustrated because the loss of the 30% nuclear energy was covered by the coal and fossil fuels, only 1% from renewable energy.
After introducing the FIT scheme, the emissions trading scheme and the carbon tax, renewable electricity increased by 7.2% in 2015. The goal for Japan is to have 44% of non-fossil sources by 2030.
Today we are at the Tokyo Metropolitan Park and we are with our new friends, Illy, Chika, Carol and Laura. Some of the things we talked about today were what are their favourite parts about Japan. So some of the girls loved Japanese food and one of the girls, Laura, particularly loved how polite and the culture in Japan.
以上です。私たちのビデオを見てくれてありがとうございます。そして俺の先生に本当にありがとうございます。さよなら。